I'm Sherry, and welcome to Home Help and Heart. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do Q&A answers. I have an early appointment tomorrow, so I went ahead and just had my shower. I'm all worn out. I've been having a bad knee day. So rather than going around and grabbing a bunch of stuff to do a video, I'm just going to sit here and answer questions. I hope that's okay. Okay. I'm using my phone to read the questions both on YouTube and on Instagram. I don't think I got any on my Facebook business page, but I'll check. The Darling Debs. Here is my question. Do you have any regrets about your life or decisions you've made thus far? That is a hard one because I consider myself to be a really good person. But what happened was I was young and dumb and I was mad for men. I don't date anymore and I never got married because I didn't like who I was when I was with a man that I was attracted to. I lost myself completely and that isn't me. So anyhow, long story short, 1973, I was like 20. I dated this guy. His name was Michael, but his nickname was Mouse. And, I was like, but he wasn't. So that went our separate ways. And then, I don't know, I think it was 1975 in the fall. I met a guy right around my birthday in October. Super nice guy. The problem was he was a Vietnam vet and he had a drug issue. But anyhow, super, super sweet. I could say, jump out the window. He would jump out the window. He was so sweet. But it was like he needed a mommy all the time. Like, can I do these drugs? No, and I shouldn't have to tell you that. But anyhow, one New Year's Eve, I guess it was probably 75, 76, we go out to the bar where Mouse and I met. We all met at that bar. And, we go in and we dance for a little bit. And, he's not feeling it. I'm like, okay, it's crowded and all that. So we decided to leave. Standing at the door to the bar was none other than Mouse. And he's like, real happy to see me. And he's like, I'm having a party at my house. Can you come? And I'm like, I looked at Jack and I said, would you mind? And of course, being Jack, he said no. So, Jack was driving me. So we went out to Mouse's house. And I thought it was a party. It was Mouse and me and Jack. Well, anyhow, Mouse kept giving me the eyes all night. And men are my kryptonite, and they really are. And I did something I would normally never do. I said, what was his name? Jack. I said, Jack, why don't you go ahead and head home? I'm going to stay. And I could tell right then it was like a knife going right in his heart. And I don't know, sometime in the next week or two, I was driving to work and he drove this van, a Volkswagen van. And I was sitting at a red light and I looked in my rearview mirror and there he was. Jack, not Mouse. And Jack glared at me. So that's the thing I regret. And I have said pretty much my whole life, if I could go back and fix something that I regret, it would be that. Thank you, Deb. That was a really interesting question, and I didn't have to think about it at all. As soon as I saw your question, I knew right what it was going to be. Okay, Mrs. Loretta. She has a couple of questions. She said just pick one. First one was, what is your favorite makeup item? Right now, it is the Raw Beauty by Christy and ColourPop collaboration. Love that palette. What is your favorite thing to do? That depends on if you're talking, pandemic or no pandemic. I love to go to the movies. which I have not done at all this year. And I love to eat out. At a nice, I don't mean fancy, but I mean, I like to get a little bit dressed up and, eat out with friends. Janice Studley. Hi, Janice. Um, Her question is, how is Jasmine and how did you meet her? She said, I had just started watching you when she was on a lot of videos with you. Also, how is your knee? Are you able to manage while you wait for surgery? Who will be helping you afterwards? Lots of questions. Okay, so let's just start with Jasmine. I don't know how much of this I've said on YouTube yet. I don't think much. But anyhow, as soon as the pandemic started, Big Brothers Big Sisters put out a, like alert, and it said no getting together of bigs and littles at all until further notice. So that went on for several months. And I said to Jasmine when this happened, I said to Jasmine, please, let's not fall out of contact. Let's do a video call once a week, something like that. Never heard back. Never heard back. Never heard back. So, and she's 15. You know what I mean? She's a sophomore in high school. I understand that things were going to be different. Plus, she works at Chick-fil-A and she works a lot of hours. Because up until Christmas break, she had been doing all virtual learning and then working at the Chick-fil-A in her evening hours. So it's been very busy for her. Big Brothers Big Sisters, I want to say September, they put out a thing and said, okay, bigs and littles can get together again, but you all have to sign this form and send it in. So I forward the form on to Jasmine and her guardian, which is her grandma. I filled mine out and sent it back to Big Brothers. So the caseworker kept calling me. We haven't gotten Jasmine's or her grandma's forms yet. And I said, I don't know what to tell you. I've tried, I've told them, please get it in by this date, blah, blah, blah. I said, I'm not hearing anything either. So then all of a sudden I get this phone call. And Jasmine called me and said, Miss Sherry, can I talk to you about something? And I literally went like this, because I didn't know what it was going to be. So she and her grandma decided that they were going to pull out of the Big Brother Big Sister program. So technically, I am no longer her big sister, and she is not my little sister. I think that because of several situations that have come up in our years of being sisters with Big Brothers Big Sisters, they both got tired, especially Jasmine got tired of them always being the middle of us. So, she said, you and I will still be friends and we'll still get together and blah and all that. But, we've only gotten together once. And that was, I want to say, the weekend after Thanksgiving. Like I said, she works and she's 15 and I don't know. But, yeah, has it been disappointing? Sure. But I don't know what all is going on in her life. So, yes, I'm in a lot of pain. I'm managing it with Aleve CBD, real CBD, and not hemp oil, and what's it called? The menthol BioFreeze, both in a gel that you rub on and in a patch about this big, so I can lay it completely over my knee, and it even touches the sides. Okay. Oh, how did I meet Jasmine? She was in a preschool, a Head Start preschool, for 1 year, that the same year that I started there as a volunteer reader. I met her briefly there, but we didn't really know each other. We knew of like each other's first name maybe. And then I started another volunteer job at the elementary school, and she was in kindergarten by then. And there is a program there called HOSTS, Helping One Student to Succeed, which is a combination of a mentoring and tutoring program for kids in the kindergarten, first and second grade who need like a little bit more help. So I sat down. I mean, it was just kismet. I came in and sat down on my first day, and I looked down at the tablet, and it said Jasmine and her last name. And I went, I wonder. And she came in and she went, I know you. So it was kismet that we were meant to be together. Put it that way. RL asked, "What is your comfort food?" Well, it can be a lot of things. Like the thing that I want, like a thing that I had, I was supposed to have it New Year's Day. I bought it for New Year's Day. Didn't eat it that day, but I ate it like 2 days later. Is a nice steak. I'm from Ohio originally. We are beef country, honey. And so I like a really good thick steak, grilled and seasoned aggressively. And so, yeah, that is one of mine because obviously I can't be eating beef all the time. I've got high cholesterol. Pizza, big time. Yeah, I got a problem with the pizza and especially the pepperoni pizza. And I think probably mac and cheese now and then, but I don't eat it very often. Abin Sherbatsky, I believe. Okay. She said that the year has been really tough for a lot of people, which is very true. My question is, what are three important things you've learned this year that will take you into 21, and what are some of your coping mechanisms? You know, I don't normally need a coping mechanism, but this year I sure did. You had COVID. My county was a hot spot the whole way through. I mean, our numbers were through the roof. And then we had Missy dying at the end of July. And while I've had dogs before, I've never had grief over a dog like I have with Missy. And Christmas Day was so hard because I stupidly, I do this every day. I wake up, I grab my phone, and I look at my Facebook memories and my Facebook notifications. And I opened up memories first, and it was just video after video after video of Missy opening her presents, Missy running in the snow, Missy running with my bike. And it just bummed me out pretty seriously. So I think one of my coping mechanisms from that has been that instead of shaming is a strong word, but instead of shaming myself for my grief and still feeling grief after 5 months, what I do is I just use it as an opportunity to love and celebrate her. So I'll look at some pictures and just remember the day that was taken, like a birthday or something. And, that's one of my coping mechanisms. Meditation helps, although I really have gotten out of the habit and I need to get back. And in that regard, I highly, highly recommend a free app called Insight Timer. Great app. Okay, so we are up over 13 minutes, I believe, and I've already edited out a lot of stuff, so I accidentally didn't get a chance to say goodbye because something happened. But anyhow, I hope that you enjoyed the answers to your questions. I thank you again so much for them. And I am going to do a part 2 with the rest of the YouTube questions, which I think there's only one or two, and then the Instagram questions. Okay, look for part 2 soon. Take care, be well, and always be yourself. Know exactly who you are and live your life to that. Men are your kryptonite? Stay away. That's just me, but okay. Bye.